Hi, this is Joe Yubakio. I just wanted to do a quick little introduction video. Obviously, you can tell I'm not in a professional studio. In fact, I'm trying to block my place where I work and live. So this way you can put a face with a name and the postcard, which most of the time is junk, coming from out of state. Like I was trying to say, in what little space they give me to write that, which is not much. Me and my family moved to California 50 some odd years ago. Been living in the San Gabriel Valley, went to Pasadena City College, Cal Poly Pomona, briefly moved back to Massachusetts and right back to Southern California. Spent a few years down in Oceanside. It's actually where I got licensed and where I first learned real estate with Century 21. I really didn't want to be a real estate agent. I wanted to invest. All kinds of paths and roads took me to investing, to commercial, to complicated 1031s and trust. And when people pass away, and powers of attorney, all kinds of things. In 2013, I came back up to the Los Angeles area and have been living in the San Gabriel Valley ever since. So all of these areas, whether you're 45 minutes away or 2 hours away, I've been to a million times. I go every week or every other week. I know all these areas. You might be getting a mailer in Pasadena. I can meet you at the drop of a hat. You might be getting a mailer in Thousand Oaks, where one of my closest friends lives, and I'm out there regularly. You might be getting this mailer and you're in Palm Desert, where I've known people for 30 years, including one of the founders of Coachella. And if you get this in San Diego County, I know a lot of people in San Diego County. And more importantly, a lot of people know me. So when you're thinking, who's this Joe Yubakio guy? Should I trust, should I talk to him? I could probably give you a dozen people in any county that have known me for a long period of time. So I'm not afraid of my reputation. And when I say on that card that I'm trying to do the best thing for you, that I'll spend 2 hours on the phone doing something that benefits you and not me. I've done that. So a lot of people aren't doing that. If you're getting calls, cold calls, you're not getting that. You know, somebody saw a seminar or somebody's a realtor and they don't really care what they get. In fact, why I'm ticked off, that first sentence, I happen to know for a fact, people I know personally in selling real estate, and when I say they're shorting, that came out wrong. They're not personally shorting these sellers. They're simply ignorant, which I'm trying to keep my language. This ticks me off. We're supposed to be fiduciaries for you. Whether I'm an investor or your agent, I need to treat you as a fiduciary. Legally, as a real estate agent, yes. As an investor, no. There's nothing on the books that says we have to do that. I do that. So what agents are doing is they're coming to people and listen, if you had to go buy another house, absolutely, hey, they'll get you top dollar, quick, boom, boom. Your house will sell really fast right now in this market. What they're doing is they're getting people who are having to move to assisted living. Maybe they're divorced or widowed. And they're getting people to spend a lot of money on not just simple paint, rehab, remodels. And in this area, Southern California, you know that's probably not going to be less than $25,000, probably $30,000, probably in some cases $50,000 for some of these older homes that are converted. I won't give you the specific cities because I don't want any one realtor to think that I'm specifically mentioning their listings. So if you look at a couple of sentences I had there, I said I'm mad. And then I couldn't go into the example there. There's stuff on my blog and other sites. I'll talk to you about it. But if you or that person is your mom or your dad, and they're spending $50,000 to get the place fixed up, and then let's say if the house sells for above listing, not uncommon. Let's say $50,000, maybe $100,000. That's rare, but let's say $50,000. That sounds like a lot of money. You're not getting that much. Well, whoever is older, been in the house for a while, has a lot of equity, they're not going to see that much of that. For having to hire a contractor, have people in their home, be out of the home while it's not functional. There's a lot of hassle in hiring contractors. Once that house sells for 50 or 1,000 more or above, now the agents who explain to you how to do all this are going to make a percentage commission, so they'll make more money. You've already spent 30 to 50,000 on the rehab, so part of that money is simply your money just coming right back to you, right? That might be the 50,000 over asking right then and there. But then, if there's equity, there's going to be capital gains tax. If you're a single person, divorced, widowed, doesn't matter, you're not married right now, you're not a couple, the IRS tax exemption for capital gains is $250,000. If you're married, it's $500,000. For the person who's living alone, and they can no longer live on their own there, then it's likely they're going to go to assisted living, maybe move in with the child, or some other living situation where they're not going to go buy another house. And without getting all the details and making this an hour-long video, all I can tell you is that if they put in the $30,000 to $50,000, they're going to net a certain amount. If they don't do the rehab, if they just say, we're going to sell as is, no repairs, still everything else is the same, maybe they're not going to sell it for $50,000 over list price. Maybe they'll get a little bit under list price. But now they're going to pay less agent and closing fees. They're going to have less capital gains. I did one example. I had to make some assumptions because everything changes this. I had to make some assumptions on this. But in the example I came up with, I think it was a $600,000 or $700,000 home with $200,000 left on the loan, which would not be uncommon in this area for somebody to have bought the home, had a little bit of a loan left, and they're able to sell it for $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, $900,000. It's not some random example that I came up with. In that example, the net for that top dollar after all the rehab and not doing the rehab was so close that I can't even remember which one won. I mean, it wasn't exactly even. I think in the example I came up with, they made a little more net selling it as is. There might be an example where they make just a little bit. When I say a little bit, I don't know, an extra $10,000, $12,000 selling it with the realtor, or maybe they made the extra $10,000 or $12,000 by not doing the rehab because of those factors I gave you. Either way, the things that can go wrong during a rehab, the stress that it can cause, are not worth that little bit of extra money. But even then, there's that. That's that. But then there is a third way. And I'll do a separate video on this. If the person needs an income when they're moving into an assisted living or long-term health care, they're going to need monthly income for an indefinite period of time. I know people like this. I've sold them homes. They're friends of mine now. There is a way to take part of that sale price, cash in hand to the seller, let's say 20% minimum, if not more. Let's say pay off the loan, pay off that $200,000. That's not hard in this market to get that $200,000 down. If you then offer the buyer that they will make payments, they will make seller carryback financing. There's a lot of ins and outs, so I'm trying to keep this short as an intro video. And also, at the same time I'm explaining this, I'm explaining that I will talk to you about things that no other agent will. We're not really even supposed to. Talk to your tax attorney, talk to your CPA. No. You know what, then anybody can get their license, send you a postcard, go with them. If you think you need to sit, I don't even care if I get your listing. Call me on this stuff. If you want to walk through any of this stuff, I don't care. I don't care about getting every listing. I will talk to you on the phone, and I will be the guy who educates people. So going back to that example, because I know it's hard without me illustrating. going back to that example, if somebody took $200,000 as a down payment and financed, let's say, $500,000 or $600,000. Again, I've done this on the calculator. I'm trying to make a quick video. That initial $200,000 will pay off that loan. So now the person who's going to assisted living has no debt. Adjust that price to the needs of the person. Pay off the debt, take some money in hand. If you're going to finance 70%, 75%, 80% of the rest of the balance, I can show you, just like a bank, I can show you on a financial calculator. You can go to an accountant, and I can show you how that seller, whether it's you, family member, how they will make, even in just a 3-year period, much less 10 years or longer, even if the house paid off in 3 years, or you required that that loan was 3 years, they're going to make up to a couple $100,000 more than they would have with that realtor. I just get so upset when I know people like, look, we sold this house and 22 offers, 50 offers. It sold for $100,000 offer, and they're just on their website. Yoo-hoo, look at me. And then I do the math, and I can look up public records, so I can see what that person owed. I can see if one person owns it, or two people. And the reason I know it was somebody going to assisted living is because that realtor, those realtors, I'm not singling anybody out, brag about it. The person's moving into assisted living. They had to pay a bunch of money. It was very convoluted. And over the 6 months, we got them to do all these repairs. So I know the story. And what I know is that person could have made a couple $100,000 more monthly income, a couple $1,000s a month, maybe up to $3,000 a month. There's no risk. I hate to use that word. People go, oh, there's always, no. Let me tell you what the risk is. You don't own the house. There's no maintenance, no insurance, no nothing. So all they're doing is taking the place of the bank. But you're getting so much money up front. So much money up front that the likelihood of a well-qualified buyer walking away on that is slim. And you're still going to have them qualified. You can use a licensed mortgage loan originator. You can still qualify them. You're the bank. You get to underwrite the loan. And I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you're the person, your mom or dad. You entrust somebody to underwrite that for you. I'm not saying that you become and learn to be a banker. But it's very simple as creating I shouldn't say simple, but you have the right people writing it up for you. An attorney, whoever. And the worst case scenario, the person loses their job, they get divorced, they can't make the payments. You set up mechanisms. I'm so sorry, this is just like live video, and I'm not doing redos. You take the house back in foreclosure. It's a few $1,000s. I know plenty of trustee companies in California. I know one in Orange County personally. It's not a big deal to take the house back. Now you've got a house you can sell again. And if the person who moved into assisted living doesn't want that, thinks that's a big headache, you're going to have powers of attorney. There's somebody in the family. And worst case, they say, I don't want to think about worst case scenario. I just want it done. Okay, fine. Do what is best for you. But I'm just saying that there are people that no longer is $12,000 something to be like, well, who cares? Is it $12,000 one way or the other? No big deal. But $200,000? Let's say if it goes 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. I'm just blown away that I'm thinking of my mom if she was still alive and had to go into assisted living, how that extra $200,000 would have paid for assisted living and how she would have netted more. Even after capital gains, this is what I want to teach everybody. This is what I want to show it. Not everybody. If you're moving into another house, this really fits the person not going to buy another house. I'm not saying this fits everybody. Or you're some type of an investor, or you've had a property forever, you've done a lot of exchanging, and now you're getting older, you want to retire, and so this is not your personal residence. That's good for you too. Because now your asset, instead of you managing it, is going to pay you income for as long as you want. If you want to do a 10-year payoff, we can talk to attorneys about that. Anyway, I hope you got some sense of why I sent the card out. as you can see on a 4x6 card, there's no way I could have said any of this. You're like, why is Joe ticked off about other agents? What does he mean they're shorting him, right? I can't explain it. I hope some of you took the card, went to the website, and watched this. That's the whole purpose of this, is for you to link that card with the person who sent you the card with what I know. And so it's not just some random person who read up, nobody reads books anymore. Whatever. They went to a Facebook group and now they think they're going to talk to you about real estate. I don't like them either. What are they going to do? They're going to call you, hey, how would you like a cash offer for half off whatever price they came up with? And maybe for some people that works. They need to get out. They owe a lot in the loan. I don't know. Vinny's after them. I don't know. But for the most part, most of these people don't know what they're doing. Like I said, I've been licensed since 2004. And as I've been doing my own investing, I get to make my own mistakes and learn from my own mistakes. There's not much I haven't come across. Commercial, residential, there really isn't much I've come across. So call me, email me. I've got a form on my blog. You can just fill that out. You don't have to talk to me. Just whatever. If you're up at 11, you're like, I don't want to talk to this guy. Fill out the form. Tell me what you want me to help you with or advise you with, and we'll come up with something, or say, hey, okay, here's the form, call me when you figure out the numbers. I can do that too. So you can fill out the form 24/7, send me an email 24/7, call me, text me, all that information is on that card. And I think that's probably about enough of an intro as anybody would like to see. And I'm so sorry it wasn't professional, but like I said, I've blocked out my place, and at least I'm wearing a dress shirt. So anyway, any questions at all, please reach out to me. Thank you.